entertainment and technology attorney, freelance journalist Jonathan Handel. The guy does it all. Jonathan, welcome back. Good to see you. You're like the guy on this issue. All right.
Thank you.
So SAG-AFTRA not necessarily going to strike, just giving the option to strike. We know that the directors also potentially have the ability to strike. Could we be looking at, you know, everybody striking at the same time? What's the deal with this SAG-AFTRA thing?
Well, SAG-AFTRA has sent out a ballot to its members. Voting ends June 5th, just 2 days before they begin negotiations with the studios. And so they're looking to have, in essence, for a metaphor, a loaded weapon by their sides at that time. Now, it takes a 75% vote of those voting to authorize a strike. In previous years, in fact, back in 2008, after the writers' strike ended, SAG was unable to get that. They had wanted to reject the deal that was accepted by the writers and directors and others back then. This time, though, the two political factions within SAG-AFTRA are unified, and the more moderate faction, which is the one that controls the union, the word I hear from them has been continuously strike, strike, strike. There really is quite a concern over a number of issues, some of which overlap the writers and directors, others of which don't.
How soon would that happen then? You said June 5th is when the voting ends, and then they can then officially vote to, in fact, strike?
No, they couldn't vote to strike until June 30th when the contract actually expires. So they have 3 weeks of negotiation, just as the Directors Guild right now is engaged in. And then both the Directors Agreement and the Actors Agreements expire June 30th. The directors are less likely to strike because they're not as strike-oriented a union. They could, but there's a third possibility, which is well, the first possibility is they reach a deal in the next 2.5, 3 weeks. But if they don't, the third possibility is June 30th, their contract expires, they neither strike nor have a deal. Meanwhile, the writers may well still be out on strike, and the actors could be on strike.
Where do we stand right now as far as the writers are concerned? We mentioned it's day 17. Are they actually at a table negotiating?
No. No, they are at a picket line not negotiating, is where they are. That's where you find the writers, and the studios are in resistance mode and coping mode with the, with the shortages of writers, the inability to create new scripted content.
So what does that mean for everybody that maybe doesn't care that much about the ins and outs of labor law, but they are interested in watching their favorite shows? Well, what does it mean for seeing their shows?
It means that, first of all, the late night shows, if you like those, and the weekly shows like SNL are already dark, and it means that they'll stay dark for however long this lasts. And this is going to last till at least early July because of certain kinds of terminations that the studios can do on other deals that are triggered by an 8-week mark. But I think this is going to last longer and may destroy the fall broadcast season, and that will have an effect on what viewers look for. Not as many on this network. Fox tends to have more unscripted programming, and it's only scripted programming that is affected by this. But on the ABC, CBS, and NBC competitive networks, their scripted programming, in fact, their presentations to the advertisers in New York last week were heavily focused on unscripted. Very unusual for them.
For the upfronts.
For the upfronts, that's right.
Okay, well, yeah, we already know. We have a list that we should just probably throw up if we can quickly with the time we have left of the impacted programming already. The Daytime Emmy Awards, Cobra Kai, Abbott Elementary, Stranger Things, Blade. They've already hit pause on production because of the writer's strike. So obviously more productions to be impacted as we continue on the picket line.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Jonathan Handel, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Until next time.